Hi everybody, we are out here at the Casper Bluff Land and Water Reserve located off of Blackjack Road just south of Galena, Illinois. And Casper Bluff is the site of our event coming up on January 23rd. We have an open hike night luminaria coming up. So this is an event that's open to the public and free this year. So during this event, you can come out here. Starts at 6 p.m., goes till 8 p.m., and masks are required in the parking lot area where there will be more people kind of getting their parking situated. So, but then when you're out on the trail and if you're able to social distance, you can remove your mask. So the open hike night on January 23rd, next Saturday, is going to be here at Casper Bluff. So it's a free event, but donations are always welcome. One thing that you can see while you're out here in Casper Bluff is the brand new Storywalk. So the Storywalk is where I am right now, and it is a kid's book story that is, the pages of the book are placed along the trail, so you can hike along and read the story as you go. And this year, it is a winter theme focus. So our education committee picked this this book because of the theme of winter time. We knew that it would be installed just in time for winter, and so we picked the book called The Mitten. So it's a really great kids book for kids grades 3 through 5 approximately, but I read it too, so I think it's a great book. So it's very cool. If you see down the trail, there's about 18 signs total that you can hike down this winding trail. The total loop is less than a mile, so it's not too long. It's really beautiful, scenic hike. We have these big open gum oaks like the one behind me that overhangs the trail. So there's 18 of these signs that kind of go around the preserve, and it's a really fun thing to do with your kids or your family. Come on out to Casper Bluff and read the book on the Storywalk. This idea first kind of came to JDCF from the Galena Public Library Youth Services Librarian, Rachel Lenstra. She contacted us about a partnership in doing a Storywalk together. And then we brought this idea to our education committee. We have an education committee that organizes a lot of our youth and family-focused events. And they had a lot of fun kind of coming up with what book should we do, where should it go, and now there's all kinds of ideas about maybe we'll do one permanent installation with interchangeable stories throughout the seasons. So who knows where it will go. This is kind of the power of volunteers and people having fun with education.
Jess, what is the story about?
So the story is about a mitten that gets lost in the woods in the wintertime. And this kid kind of loses their mitten in the woods. And while the mitten is kind of laying there on the ground, all these little critters start climbing inside and inhabiting this mitten. They get in there and they get all cozy, and a lot of animals keep going in and in those mittens, and then eventually, well, you'll have to read the book to see how it ends. It's a very cute story, really cool artwork as well. It's kind of a Scandinavian artwork around the borders of all of the pages. So very cool, colorful. I bet a lot of you probably have read The Mitten before. Very, very cool story. So come on out to see The Mitten Storywalk at Casper Bluff.
And could you tell us a little bit about this big tree they could visit?
The big tree behind me. So this tree behind me here is a really big white oak tree. So I can tell it's a white oak because, well, one reason is the leaves are still on it. And on these leaves, you can see the lobes on these leaves are rounded. So some of the oak leaves have pointy lobes on them. That would be like a red oak or a black oak. But this is rounded, so that is a white oak. So, and also the bark looks a little different too. So this is a white oak tree, and it is really old. I would guess probably 150 years old.
150 years?
Maybe even older.
Wow.
Yeah, so it has these huge branches that are kind of reaching out really far. This is really characteristic of open-ground oaks that you find in savanna ecosystems, savanna habitats. So those open-grown oaks have their branches kind of reaching out to get that sunlight. When trees are kind of grown closer together, then they kind of grow up more vertical, and their branches are more tall and straight. So this is really characteristic of a savanna ecosystem.
We have a question from Maureen, who's wondering how long the Storywalk Trail is.
Okay, so the Storywalk Trail is about 0.8 miles. It's less than a mile, so it's not too long. It just kind of winds around the hills here, circles back to it ends at the Rotary Pavilion, if you know where that is. It ends at the Rotary Pavilion. And
will there be signs for people to find the entrance?
There will be signs for people to find the entrance on the event on the 23rd. So yes, we'll make sure we have the signs pointing towards the Storywalk.
Should people bring their flashlights?
You know, that's a good idea to bring a flashlight too. The trail will be lit with luminaries, but it's always a good idea to have your flashlight with you also. This is kind of one of the only times that the preserve is open after dark. All of our preserves close at dusk every day, but a few times a year we open it up for special events like this where our preserves are open after dark. So it's kind of a cool thing to see, cool thing to do. Really, really fun thing to do, especially this winter when everybody's itching for something to do outdoors. So come on out January 23rd, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we gladly accept donations to keep this preserve open for everybody.
And where will we be next week?
Oh, next week we will be featuring the NISC, Northern Illinois Stewardship Co-op, and their new evolution into a fee-for-service stewardship tasks. So we'll hear from that team next week to kind of hear about what they have to offer our community.
Great.
So, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thanks to our sponsors, also the First Community Bank of Galena, Apple River State Bank. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you guys next Thursday.